is a good man, Savannah. A good man. He's just in a bad situation right now, and he's trying to get out of it.
Girl, can we gossip? Ooh, can we gossip? Girl, can we gossip? I have tea, can we gossip? What's tea, Petty Bunch? Welcome back to another episode of Girl, Can We Gossip with the Petty One. I am Nick, the Petty One, and we are back for another Car Chronicle. Yes. Okay. So I want to talk about Black women and why we cannot respect, defend, or come to bat for another Black woman. Watching this season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I have to say Garcelle was the first Black woman to infiltrate this all-white space. So before I get into my thesis, I just want to say congratulations, kudos to Garcelle for being brave enough to get on a show with a bunch of spoiled, entitled, pampered white women who believe that they are the moment, that I am she, I am her, the world revolves around me. I am that bitch. I am that queen. I am that one. I am the one, the two, and the three. When in fact, the mediocrity seeps through, and you have to overcompensate by showing how much wealth and how much prestige you have when deep down you really don't have much to offer. And you have, they have these egos that need to be stroked, that need to be fed. So Garcelle coming in and infiltrating this space is, man, that's the big, I mean, that's good shit right there, first of all, because it would take a special Black woman to come in that space. And when I say special, I'm thinking of someone of Garcelle's that possesses Garcelle's demeanor. And by demeanor, I mean, when you think about Garcelle, first of all, is not, she's of African descent. Okay. So she already has this air about herself where when she walks into a room, she does command, she commands your attention. She has this confidence about herself that's like, damn, okay, this woman can definitely stomp with the big dogs. Because let's face it, that's how Kyle, that's how Dorit, that's how Erica Jane, that's how Lisa Rinna, that's how Teddy Mellencamp, how they saw themselves as the big dogs. And of course, all of them needing their egos to be stroked, they all came together and they forged, the Fox Force 5. Still coming into this impenetrable space it was good to see her coming in with this attitude. And when I say attitude, I don't mean attitude in a bad way, but her coming into this space with that attitude, like, baby, I am the moment. I am a movie star. I am a former model. I am an actress. I have the accolades to stand 10 toes down in this group. I am she, I am her, I am the moment. So baby, my ego is just as big as yours, if not bigger. So of course you already know, like, coming into spaces like this where you're dealing with white women who are nice, nasty, come on, you guys already know about the microaggressions. When we come into these spaces, they have this certain look, the look of curiosity, the look of, how the hell did you get here? And I can say that as someone having attended an all-Black high school, parents decide, hey, you're going to go to this PWI because guess what? The world is not all Black, and you need to get a dose of reality, and you need to learn how to infiltrate all white spaces, and you need to learn how to pivot, how to code switch, and how to play the game. So I too can understand walking into a classroom where I'm the only person that looks like me. Or let's just say, for example, I have a television news background. Okay. So in college, we were the only local news station in the city that I was in. And so I'll never forget, as a freshman, we did the news on Monday nights and on Thursday nights. So I went in, as all aspiring anchor people do, people that want media jobs. So I'm like, hey, okay, I'm gonna try out for this anchor position. I feel like I have the charisma, I have the personality. I am going to get in where I fit in. It's just a matter of me doing the Monday night anchoring or me doing the Thursday night anchoring. And this is not just me having this attitude or this big ego. This is me knowing who I am and how dope my personality is and how my vibe is. It's infectious. I kid you not. But I digress. So I walk in and I'm confident. I'm a bright eyed, bushy tailed freshman, excited for my chance to sit at the desk and show them what I got. When my white counterparts are looking at me like, who this bitch thinks she is walking up in here? Like, no, who this black bitch think she is walking up in here like she has a chance to compete. And I'll never forget, this one guy named Gabe looked at me and he was like, "What are you doing here?" And I looked to my right and I looked to my left and I'm like, "Excuse me?" And he's like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "What are you doing here?" "Oh, well, these are the news tryouts." I said, "Well, bingo, that's why I'm here, to try out for the news." And so he's like, "Oh, you really think you have a chance?" I said, "Baby, listen, it's just a matter of me being on Monday or Thursday, and I'll be the one to decide which day I want to take." So he was like, "Oh, you think so?" And I said, "Oh, I know so." Turns out Gabe and I ended up being on the same Monday night show for 4 years anchoring. And so Gabe eventually had to come back and eat crow. And he had to say, "Damn, Nikki, you're really good at this." "Oh, well, thank you, Gabe. Thank you. Like, I really needed your validation. I don't need your validation." So I'm saying that to say, when Garcelle entered this space where she was very much a space that she was entitled to be in because she is on the same level as these women, they kind of looked at her. And the soft hazing and the initiation began, with the Lisa Rinna. Well, Garcelle, you need to explain. It was always Lisa telling her that she needed to explain something, or why are you acting this way, or you shouldn't be acting like this, or like, hey, you should be excited that we've allowed you into this circle, and how dare you feel the way that you feel. And Garcelle let them know many times, like, I do not trust you guys. And then they truly showed their asses when Erica was 3 sheets to the wind, drunk off her ass, telling Garcelle's son to fuck off at Garcelle's party. So, and then they laughed about it. And then when Dorit tried to come for Garcelle and using the words, the angry, the aggressive, and like shit like that, the microaggressions. It's the microaggressions for me. So it was the Lisa Rinna with her microaggressions. It was the Kyle with her microaggressions. It was Dorit with her microaggressions. It was Diana with her microaggressions, trying to make Garcelle feel like she was not worthy to be in their presence. So anyway, Garcelle came in throwing them bows, letting them hoes know that, listen, I'm not what you want. For me, don't come for me unless I send for you. And they was coming. So Garcelle, knock, knock. "Oh, bitch, I'm opening the door. Hello, I'm here." So I'm saying that to say Garcelle coming into this space was very much needed. This space needed to be integrated. Okay, so Garcelle came in making a name for herself, and it took her, and I'm not gonna say that they even to this day, they really fully have welcomed her in. She's had to scrape and claw for standing, within this group. It was still kind of like, I don't know. It's like, if you are not a black woman, then you cannot understand how it is for us having to operate in these spaces. It's almost like you feel like you have a banana peel on one foot and an ice skate on the other. Not saying that we're intimidated by the least, but it's like you have to learn how to pick and choose your battles when dealing with these white women. It's just crazy. So watching Garcelle, fight for position, it's been a never ending battle and struggle. But damn it, she did it. She's made her voice known. She's made her presence known, and has ruffled their little lily white feathers. And I'm here for it. So now, Garcelle doing her thing, making moves on the show. So Boz, who is equally as successful as Garcelle, enters this season. And so Boz does not have the Hollywood background that Garcelle has, but Boz comes in on the executive level. I mean, she's done a lot of things. I'm not going to list her accolades because she has listed them for us when she was first debut on the show. We got a sneak peek into who Bozama St. John is. So she is definitely confident in her own right, intellectual, and she, like Garcelle, is of African descent. And there is something about African women that they come, and I wish, like, and I'm not saying that we as black women don't possess these qualities, but there is something about African women when they walk into these spaces. It's like, I'm going to say this, it's like they don't feel insecure. They don't feel sometimes the trepidation that we may feel entering these spaces. They don't feel like they're fighting to belong. As a matter of fact, they come in like, bitch, I'm the moment. I belong. They have this regalness about them. They have this air about them that, okay, and who what? Who are you? So what? I've done the same thing. Da 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 da. So they come in already having that attitude and having that air that definitely shows the white mediocrity. It definitely shows insecurity showing up in these white women. So Bozama coming into this group is kind of like, well, damn, this woman is rich. Her money is long. She's that girl. She has done the things in the executive space. So it's like she and Garcelle are on the same level playing field. Now, in my most humblest of opinion, I feel like this would have been the perfect opportunity for Boz and Garcelle to have formed an alliance off of the strength. Number one, they are black women. Number two, they are both of African descent. They did not capitalize on the moment where they could have used each other and could have been the toughest and fiercest of allies. Because let's face it, okay? Black women, African women, guess what? We all look the same. We all have this fire in our bellies. Like we just got this impenetrable fire in our bellies that we can do all the things, no matter what task or however you try to play us to the left. Oh baby, we're gonna come up and we're gonna show up and we're gonna show out when opportunity presents itself, and you will fall back and you will witness the black girl magic. But I feel that Garcelle had this thing where maybe she wanted to be the only black woman in this group. And I just feel like there were so many missed opportunities on her end where she could have welcomed Boz into the group and they could have gotten to know each other better. Now, mind you, this whole season was weird. their interaction or lack of interaction with each other was very weird, because remember, there were times when Garcelle was like, well, I wish some of us would have gotten the opportunity to spend time with you to get to know you. And it seemed like Garcelle took offense that Boz had aligned with Dorit. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, now if Boz has aligned with Dorit, why are you giving her grief about that when you have been aligned with Sutton? So I couldn't understand why it seemed like Garcelle had her panties in a bunch, especially when they were on Kathy Hilton's girls trip from hell, that, that Garcelle had such an issue with Boz aligning with Dorit and getting to know Dorit. And again, there were so many missed opportunities where Garcelle and Boz could have connected, and it was almost like we got a little snippet of it when Boz had her fibroid removal surgery and she was at home recuperating, and when Garcelle came in to spill the tea, and Garcelle stopped. She was gracious enough, she stopped, picked them up some food, and they were able to sit back and kiki. And that's when Garcelle spilled the tea about Kyle and PK really texting, and Kyle getting into the meat and potatoes of what the text message was. That right there gave me a small glimpse, like, well, damn, okay, these two actually are a vibe, but we never got to see that vibe develop. Matter of fact, it seemed like production used Garcelle and Boz to be bone collectors and to be pot stirrers when everyone in the group got together for group activities or group trips. That's what it seemed like to me. So I just feel like both of these women missed the perfect opportunity. And I'm going to say that Garcelle, I'm holding you accountable in that realm because you have already been in this space. So you, being a veteran on this show, should have taken this newbie in, and you could have just prepared her for what was to come. But then on the flip side, it's almost kind of like, okay, so Boz, did you pick an alliance with Dorit because she at the time was an outsider, or because you know that she's a part of the Fox Force 5 and you, well, now the Fox Force, whatever number we want to call it, the new Fox Force, is that why you aligned with Dorit? Because you aligning with her means that you will be able to get in good with Erica. And then once Dorit and Kyle started smoothing things over, you slowly transitioned into forging a friendship with Kyle. We saw that happen when Boz went over to Kyle's house and they found out that they had, commonality with cheating ass husbands. Like, and Boz found out while her husband was transitioning out of here that her husband was actually seeing another woman, and the other woman was in the husband's hospital room. Hello. So yeah, so could it be that Boz was playing the long game and aligning with Dorit? Because she's like, Dorit could get me in good. And see, I can't align with Sutton because Sutton is awkward and Sutton is delusional and Sutton just does not fit in with these women at all. So I'm going to go with the person that, even though she's on outs with a couple people, she is that girly within the group. She has the connections. I know that her and Kyle are on the outs right now, but once they get back together, I will be able to align and stand with them. Whereas Garcelle could never penetrate Kyle or truly Erica or Dorit for that matter to get in good with them. And the fact that Garcelle was aligned with Sutton, who in turn was considered a black sheep as well, maybe that's why Boz picked Dorit to align with instead of her fellow sister. But I mean, it's just sad. No matter how you look at this equation, no matter how, you view Boz and Garcelle, it's just sad to see that these two black women in 2025, black women cannot just have good intentions to truly be our sister's keeper. We just cannot. There's always some sort of intimidation type of situation where, and I guess maybe that's where Garcelle was coming from. Now, don't quote me on it. I don't know what Garcelle feels, but maybe it was Garcelle feeling a certain kind of way. Like, hey, I'm the only black woman that's supposed to occupy this space. Hey, I'm the only, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's how she was feeling. And she saw Boz come in and she was like, oh, now there's two of us. I'm not special anymore. I mean, I don't know. You don't know people's reasoning for things, and I think it's sad. And I'm gonna go off on a little tangent and give another little a tidbit. I'll never forget. Again, being a black woman working in a newsroom when there are a small number of black women working in a newsroom. It's kind of hard coming in as a rookie to make your presence known, to make your presence felt, and to show veterans that, hey, I am not here to steal your shine. In fact, I'm here to gain more skills so I can eventually, take my talents elsewhere and then maybe double back in a few years. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I want what you have, but it's just like, damn, along the way, can you put me on game in certain areas so that I can better myself? And it's kind of like, nah, sis, we're good. And so it's like, it's taking me back to those divide and conquer days back on the plantation, how they had to divide and conquer us. Because if you think about it, if we actually as a people aligned and got our shit together and truly supported one another, we would be a whole ass force to reckon with. It's almost like when you can see the potential in other people and you know it's there and you know they have that je ne sais quoi, they got it, they got it because it's already been ingrained in their DNA. But the thing is, it's like you don't want them to know that they have it, because once they know that they have it, oh shit, they become a total threat. And I feel like as black people, we have been conditioned to feel like we are not the shit when in fact we are. And the thing is, the outsiders, they know that we are the shit, and they know that if we ever work together and truly start standing and filling in the gap for one another, their ass is grass. And I think they know that. But the fact that we don't unite, the fact that we don't support one another, it's really sad. So, being in the news space, I'll never forget. There was this producer that I met, black woman. She was phenomenal at her job. And so while I'm trying to decide, hey, do I want to infiltrate the news world as talent, or do I want to write? Because I love to write also. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to get a little bit from the reporters I'm shadowing. I'm going to get a little bit from the producers I'm shadowing. And then I'm going to see where that takes me. So I'll never forget, I was working with this producer, black woman. She was phenomenal at her job. I loved her writing style. It was because in news, it's like you want to be conversational, you want to be entertaining, and you don't want to be too long-winded. So I was picking up some tips from her, and I'll never forget, she would show me things, but then I would see her, she would be really excited while showing me some things, and then I could see her pulling herself back because it's like, damn, I'm giving you the sauce, but I can't give you too much sauce. And I'm like, okay, why can't you give me all the sauce and all the game? Because clearly you're going to write a story one way. You're going to write a VO one way. I'm going to write the same VO a different way. Having read a story, you're going to formulate your way and write your way, and I'm going to do the same, and I'm going to put my spin on it because we don't think the same. We're not going to converse the same, and it's going to come out two totally different ways. Same story, but two different POVs. So I noticed her drawing back, and then I noticed on days when I would want to sit with her, she would automatically be busy and wouldn't be, oh, I'm crunched for time today. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. And I thought that was sad because I'm trying to build, at the time, I was trying to build my writing portfolio. So, because I knew as an intern that there was a chance that, okay, after my internship was over, there was no guarantee that this station would extend a full-time job offer to me. So it's like, okay, I'm just trying to get in where I fit in. I'm just trying to write these samples. So once this internship is over and I decide I want to put my hat in the ring, I can go ahead and do that. And then, I can apply wherever it is that I want to apply. So I thought that was crazy. I'm like, damn, as a Black woman. And I'll never forget, I had a colleague. She, again, bright, bubbly, infectious personality. And she was doing her thing. And so she was given, now she worked in the background in production, was given a segment on air, doing so well at it, started blowing up, started making a name for herself. The Black woman, assistant news director at the time. That's number 2 in charge at the station. That's the number 2. Decides she cannot stand the fact, again, that a production member is starting to become on air, is starting to grow a following, that she pulls my colleague's segment and tells her, all you're ever going to be is part of production. Now, this is a Black woman crapping and shattering another Black woman's dreams. Ending her segment, ending this woman's dreams, crushing this woman's dreams, telling her all you're ever going to be is a part of production. I thought that was crazy. So I'm just saying that to say, I feel like Garcelle could have extended herself to Boz more, and that they could have aligned and they could have formed something beautiful. But then I know there will be people in the comments that will say, hey, well, we don't know if they really tried to connect, or, they shoot so much footage per day. We really don't know if, we really don't know if they did connect off, when cameras weren't rolling. It's just sad. So then we see Boz is going to come for Garcelle at the reunion. I know the reunion has been taped. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to go watch it so I can give my 2 cents on this. But I just feel like Garcelle should not have left the show so abruptly. It's like you were finally starting to make headway into this group. And damn, I really feel like you could have done more. And there's no telling what you and Boz could have brought. Like, who knows? This next season coming up, had you stayed on the show, maybe you guys would have been able to have a conversation and maybe talked and formed an alliance. So, I don't know. But Petty Bunch, I thank you guys for continuing to subscribe and engage with my content. I am thrilled. I'm ecstatic about it. So, I will see you guys in the next video. I got to head in. I got to go make donuts. All right, bye.
He's a good man, Savannah. A good man. He's just in a bad situation right now, and he's trying to get out of it.
Girl, can we gossip? Ooh, can we gossip? Girl, can we gossip? I have tea, can we gossip?